Hi guys, and welcome back to the Chainlog channel. Today I want to talk about a case study I am actually researching for the community to let you know what I'm discovering, what I do for a job. Meanwhile, I'm home in my studio researching the market, what will happen, why it happened. And today I'm taking in consideration the supply in profit and loss as a case study. Supply in profit and loss actually is a metric that let us know about the market in general when people or coins in this case are in a state of a loss or in a state of a profit, meaning actually that this metric right here is not taking in consideration the amount of profit or loss coins are in. If you bought at 30K, to make an example, at 30K, $1, you are in profit. At 29.999, you are in a loss. So, knowing this, we are now seeing here, I drew some lines here, that we are in a state of having a lot of losses in coin supply for the Bitcoin blockchain, and we are experiencing some sort of um, bottom of this metric that is not actually taken in consideration by the metric itself. Because if we look at this is the actual supply in profit with tops and bottoms of the market taken in consideration. Green are the bottoms and reds are tops. Here we see that we are not bottoming yet, and this may be the first time we don't bottom at all. Why I'm saying this? Because as you see here, we had slightly we got slightly under 50 in this metric. That means under 50 is right here. It's more likely a bottom. It's for the metric. It says us that we are in a state where more people are in a loss respect to in respect to the people in profit. So we may know that there is not too much uh, of um, of a sell pressure in the market, and there will be not too much in the future. So we know that we may start DCing in, or we start an aggressive buying here. For swing trading, this is a perfect metric because, as you see, if you started buying right here aggressively and selling right here and DCing out, you will have you will had a huge price appreciation for your portfolio. Actually, you would stay right now if you kept doing that in a state of a profit that is uncommon, okay, for the market itself. So actually, we are seeing that we are not touching it. But as you see here, this red line that I draw, we may be bottoming even without touching this line right here. Okay, may this line is making a support for this metric. It's like maybe we don't know, but how can we assess that this metric will bottom here and not here on the green line where it is supposed to? Well, actually, in the last downturn, last year, we had this little drop into the supply and loss, 25 to 30%. this of supply and loss. So we were not bottoming, and still we had a huge price appreciation next that led us to the new all-time high in November 2021. Now we are seeing a lot of supply in loss, but we are not seeing a relief rally until as of right now. How can we really assess that this is the case actually? Even if we take here the short-term to long-term supply, that is not the same. Okay, this is a supply in profit and loss, where the blue green one is supply in profit and the red is supply in loss. This is where this is another metric that take in consideration people that are hodling their coins more or less than 149 days for a median, with a 20-day transition gradient that we are not discussing today, as it is too technical for this channel. Maybe if you want more in depth, you can watch my links, maybe know something about Chainlog and the service I offer. And anyway, taking in consideration this metric right here, where short-term holders supply is in red and long-term holder supply is in blue, green blue, or light blue, depending on what you're seeing. We had a 54% drop from to 54% from supply from long-term supply when we hit the top in 2017. And then in 2018, right here, we had a huge actually it was in 2018, sorry. And then in the middle of 2018 we had this huge drop that we are not expecting it. We thought maybe the Bitcoin was going to die, and I know now it sounds like it wasn't a thing, but back then I, I it was really a thing for the Twitter, for people in the market. And we dropped to 72% when the long-term supply dropped as well. And for the long-term holders to drop their supply right here in the middle of a bear market, it was not a good sign, actually. That's for sure. And the same we got here when in the COVID crash in 2020, a little bit from getting us to 75% of the supply, of the long-term supply. And we dropped again. Meanwhile, we reached in the next bull run we had 2021, more or less, starting in 2020. We had this huge drop here to 67%. And because long-term holders usually just sell off, DCAing out of the market, meanwhile the price is getting an appreciation in terms of dollars. And we reached now 80% and stayed on this going sideways since since the end of the last downturn, 29K. And actually, we are not seeing that much of this supply of long-term holder supply getting out. How to now? How can we take this and this and put it together to know if this metric right here will bottom or not? So even if long-term supply is an 80% now, this doesn't mean that 80% of the supply is actually in a state of profit. Okay, even if you took in consideration the fact that we had from the last downturn last year, we had a huge aging in the supply here, moving from 6 months to 1 year to 1 year to 2 year, actually. So aging into 1+ here supply. That is why we had this spike right here in 1+ year supply. This is actually 1 to 2 year supply, not taking in consideration the 2 to 3 years, the 3 to 4, the 4 to 8, and 8 to infinity. We had 12% of the supply aging from the 6 month to 1 year to the 1 year to the 2 year, 1 to 2 years wave, odal wave. What does it mean, this? Okay, if we are here, even if these people are actually 1 year old here on the chart, taking in consideration that this is actually aging since the last all-time high. So taking in consideration this chart right here, since the last all-time high, we had this kind of metric right here that was actually getting a huge spike. This is 1 year. So if we take in consideration 1 year, okay, 12 months actually, from here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Here, the same price, more or less, that we had that we have right here now, okay? And we had the month prior of this. So this doesn't mean that all this supply is actually in a state of profit. Maybe very well in a loss, taking in consideration that it is aging from back then, okay, but it's still aging. So people that maybe not bought here, but have bought here or here, from one to, if we wait 1 or 2 months, we will maybe see this supply right here, both right here, and we may still here. We may be still here, getting in a state of loss. Okay. So this doesn't mean that this metric will not bottom. This mean that this metric right here will bottom, okay, as soon as people from hodlers from this kind of supply right here for more than 1 year supply, actually taking consideration the others too, is going to actually getting in a state of loss, and so we may bottom right here. Okay, right now this isn't happening for that reason, specifically because people from here, buying from here, are still in somewhat of a state of a profit. Okay, they may not. Still, people from 1 month ago, price and time go forward, so we might experience that. At this point, if we make a case study, we should assess this kind of behavior. Actually seeing what we can affirm watching all of this charting, that supply and profit may bottom, not now, maybe 1 to 2 months. We will need to actually see this supply getting in a state of a bottom here, less than 50%, because of the fact that people bought right here 1 to 2 year supply. 1 to 2 year supply, meaning that people from here, actually from January from January 2020, actually here at 10K was actually hodling. But meanwhile, time from as time passed by, we will see this kind of structure that we are in from for 18 months now. This accumulation zone or distribution zone, as you want to see, um, as you as you prefer. Actually, we are not. We don't know if this is a distribution because if you look at the psychology behind the market and how investors and the like, um, institutional investors are taking in consideration price patterns as a psychological movements, um, like for example, Wyckoff. This resembles very much a distribution pattern or a reaccumulation pattern, and you should make your own decision about that, watching and knowing and studying about this wake of because it's a long way down. I will not be here now talking about it. Anyway, this could be an option. And so w- this metric right here, maybe not bottoming yet, but it will in time as time pass by, and as this bear market, if this bear market will keep moving us sideways or even break this level right here, a huge psychological level at 30K, more or less we are still there, and this line is actually the real the real bottom of the market last year at 28.6K, and we will see. This is the case studies I have for you. Actually, it's not bottoming, and it can bottom just because we have people from there still in profit. But as time goes on, this could be the case. Okay, we could see this dropping down below, but it will need time to get there. We will need time to get there, and we may not experience that. I actually pray the Lord Satoshi to not experience that, because a long bear market like it was back here in 2017 2018 um actually is nothing, is nothing good for us. It's no good. I was experiencing it back then, and it was a huge, huge and long. It was just pouring, and the price going up and down, and maybe doing a 50% right here, down from 6K to 3K. Okay, was a huge pain in the ass at the time, and so we will see. This is the case study for the supply and profit right here from Chainlog Analyst. You can follow me on Instagram. I have a little link into the description. Uh, no, sorry, Twitter. I have an Instagram too, but it is for motivational purpose only. For people to be motivated to become the best, and maybe I will share the link later on. I am on Twitter. I am Chainlog Analyst from the page Chainlog Analyst, the More Bitcoin Goal. Actually, I have this company called Chainlog that offers services around all around the world from a Discord, so you can chat, you can have your phone with you and still watching the price or the metrics I share, staying everywhere in the world, like with the TradingView app you have, or anything else on the exchanges, so that you don't have to come here or come to a site, more complex site, and you can reach me, because in the Discord you can reach me too. I have a chat for people that that are chain loggers, as I call them, that are my clients. Actually, I I've started this business more or less a week ago, and I've now my first clients. So you can, if you want more news, brand news, you have my newsletter. All the links will be in the description. So thank you guys for watching, and if you like the content, make sure to follow me on Instagram, on Twitter and other socials. And here, ping the notification bell. Um, Let me know with a like, comment, what you want to see, what you would like to have. If you liked the fast updates or you want more in-depth updates, let me know. For this is all here. Chainlog. Stay safe out there, and cheers.